They say every university has its legend, stories whispered in dorm rooms when the lights flicker, or passed along during campus tours to wide-eyed freshmen. But Temple University's ghost story, it's a little different, because it's not just about a ghost haunting a hall. It's about the echo of someone who refused to leave, even after death. Welcome to Mysteries at the Quad, where campus legends, haunted halls, and forgotten histories come to life after dark. If you love ghost stories, folklore, and the unexplained, hit subscribe, like button, and ring the bell. Join us for the investigation. Tonight, we're walking through North Philadelphia into the heart of Temple University to explore the story of the ghost of Temple. Before we get to the haunting, let's rewind just a bit to how this place began. Temple University started humbly in 1884 when a man named Russell Conwell, a Baptist minister and lawyer, decided that education shouldn't be reserved for the wealthy. Conwell believed that anyone willing to work hard deserved a chance at higher learning. He started teaching evening classes for working Philadelphians, folks who couldn't afford to quit their jobs but hungered for knowledge. Those classes grew. They became known as the Temple, because Conwell said each person's mind was a temple where truth should dwell. And from those evening lessons came the university we know today, Temple University. Now, that ideal, that spirit of perseverance, still lingers here. Some say it's just in the students' drive. Others say it lingers in more literal ways. The year is 1975. Temple's campus was expanding fast. New dorms, new lecture halls, new energy. But hidden among the modern buildings stood an older one, Anderson Hall. To most, it was just another academic building. But to the night janitors, and a few unlucky students who stayed late, it was something else entirely. One night, around 11 p.m., a janitor named Ernie, a Vietnam veteran who'd been with the campus maintenance crew for years, was finishing his rounds on the third floor. He said it was quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet that hums in your ears. He pushed his mop cart down the hallway, the wheels squeaking just a little. Halfway through the corridor, he heard footsteps behind him, slow, deliberate, just out of sync with his own. He turned. Nothing, just the hum of fluorescent lights overhead. He shrugged it off. Buildings make noise, old pipes, settling floors. But then, a door at the far end of the hallway opened. Just opened. Smooth, like someone had turned the handle and stepped inside, Ernie walked toward it, thinking maybe a student had stayed behind. But the room was empty. No wind, no open windows, and in the middle of the chalkboard, someone had written, in clean white letters, "I never finished my lesson." Ernie swore he hadn't seen that writing before, and he was certain he'd just cleaned that room an hour earlier. The next day, he told a security guard. The guard laughed, said it was probably a prank. But later that week, a graduate student, Mara, was in the same room grading papers late one night around midnight. She heard a voice in the hallway, low, rhythmic, like someone lecturing under their breath. She peeked out. No one. But the lights in the hallway flickered in a perfect rhythm. On, off, like punctuation to invisible speech. When she turned back to her desk, her coffee cup was gone. It had been right beside her laptop. Then, from the corner of the room, she heard a faint clink. The cup sat neatly on the edge of a bookshelf. Over the next few months, reports trickled in. Lights turning on in empty rooms, stacks of papers moved overnight, chalk marks appearing on boards after hours. Campus rumours settled on one name, Dr. Margaret Green. Dr. Green was a beloved philosophy professor at Temple in the 1940s. Brilliant, precise, and fiercely dedicated. Her students called her the Thinker. She died suddenly in her office, heart attack, they said, while preparing a lecture on the nature of existence. The next morning, her notes were found neatly arranged, her chalk mid-sentence on the board. For decades, that same office, later converted into a classroom, seemed to carry her presence. Faculty joked that she'd never left because she still had a few lessons to finish. But those jokes stopped when people started hearing her voice. I talked to one retired night security guard, Mr. Alvarez. He told me, you could hear someone writing, not walking. Writing, like chalk on slate, steady, confident. And when you'd open the door, the board would be clean, but your name would be written in the corner. He said it happened 3 times. Different guards. Same message each time. Keep learning. He laughed when he told me, but his hands were shaking. Then there's Tanya, a senior in 1999. She was pulling an all-nighter for her psychology final, tucked away in Anderson Hall's study lounge around 2:30 a.m. Her laptop crashed. Frustrated, she looked up and saw a woman, maybe in her 60s, dressed in a grey skirt suit, standing at the end of the hallway, not menacing, just there. The woman tilted her head slightly and said, "You already know the answer. It's in your notes." Then she was gone. Tanya found her laptop working again. And when she reopened her notes, the one answer she'd been stuck on was highlighted, not by her. Now, maybe there's a logical explanation for all this. Old wiring, sleep deprivation, the power of suggestion. Every campus has stories that feed off late-night adrenaline and overworked imaginations. Anderson Hall has poor ventilation, fluorescent flicker, and a lot of echo. All perfect ingredients for spooky acoustics. But it's odd, isn't it, that the messages all share the same theme: learning, teaching, continuing, the spirit of Temple itself. Today, Anderson Hall is still there, a little more modern, but the bones are old. Some students swear the 3rd floor feels colder than the others. One custodian told me he never works there past midnight, and every October someone posts a thread on Reddit or campus forums. Anyone else hear chalk sounds in Anderson? Who keeps turning off the lights on the 3rd floor? The comments fill up fast. Half disbelief, half nervous laughter. But one reply always stands out. She's just teaching still. Don't interrupt. Maybe Dr. Green, or whoever that spirit is, isn't haunting Temple to scare anyone. Maybe she's just carrying on Russell Conwell's dream, that education never ends, that every mind is a temple. And if that's true, maybe she's not a ghost at all. Maybe she's just what Temple's always been, a place where knowledge refuses to die. You've been listening to Mysteries at the Quad, where every campus has its secrets, and some stories never graduate. If you enjoyed tonight's mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss what waits in the shadows of the next story. Share this episode with someone who loves a good ghost tale, and let us know your theories in the comments below. Until next time, keep your lights low and your curiosity high.